Hello students, in the yesterday's class we have studied about the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, the chromosomal theory of inheritance proposed by Sudan and Boveri, and they described the inheritance of the chromosomes as same as the genes are going to inherit. Okay, so that is done by the Mendel. He says the genes as factors. Okay, so that just comparative study we saw in the chromosomal theory of inheritance. See, after the proposal of that chromosomal theory of inheritance, one more scientist came. His name is T.H. Morgan. Thomas T.H. Morgan. Thomas Hunt Morgan in 1905. Thomas Hunt Morgan, he was a scientist, he was a biologist, okay, he was a genetist, and he did so many experiments on Drosophila melanogaster. Mendel chosen for his experiment pea plants in the same way. The Morgan selected Drosophila melanogaster as his experimental tool. He did so many monohybrid and dihybrid process as the Mendel did. See, why he did the experiments on Drosophila melanogaster? See, to know the chromosomal theory of inheritance. He want to study experimentally the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, see, that's why he is called as the father of experimental genetics. Okay, Morgan is considered as father of experimental genetics. Okay, he did so many experiments on Drosophila melanogaster to understand the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, while doing those experiments, he also discovered that the reasons for the variations occurs during sexual reproduction. He also found the reasons for variations that are going to take place during sexual reproduction. Okay. Next, why the Morgan chosen the Drosophila melanogaster for his experiment? Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster. Commonly it is called as fruit fly. Fruit fly. So that is fruit eating fly. Fruit fly. See, so many biologists they use this Drosophila melanogaster for his experiments, for their experiments to study the concepts which comes under the genetics. So that's why this melanogaster, that is Drosophila, it is also considered as Cinderella of genetics. Cinderella of genetics. Drosophila melanogaster, it is considered as Cinderella of genetics. Okay, because most of the scientists they use this organism only for their experiments on genetics. So that's why it is considered as Cinderella of genetics. Why Morgan chosen this Drosophila melanogaster only for his genetical experiment? So there are so many reasons for choosing the Drosophila melanogaster. So this is very important. For board examination they will ask this question. See, first and foremost point is, so this fruit fly can grow in any simple synthetic media. Okay, it can be grown in any simple synthetic media in the laboratory. So just for one ripened fruit will responsible for the development of this Drosophila melanogaster. See, it can be grown. It can be grown in simple synthetic media. Simple synthetic media. Okay, so this is the first reason. Okay, and second one is its life cycle is very short. Its life cycle is very short. Its life cycle is very short and it's going to complete within 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, and the third reason they can able to produce even in a single mating. They can able to produce hundreds of progenies, a large number of progenies. So this is one of the reason. And fifth reason is it contains only 4 pairs of chromosomes. It contains only 4 pairs of chromosomes. So it is very easy to find out the inheritance of chromosomes by taking this organism. So these are the 5 reasons. Okay. So according to this, by considering these reasons, the Morgan has chosen the Drosophila melanogaster for his experimental studies. Okay. Yes. Morgan, he did the experiments in the same way as the Mendel did. Mendel did monohybrid cross and also dihybrid cross. Okay. So this Morgan also did in the same way as Mendel did the monohybrid and dihybrid process by taking Drosophila melanogaster. While doing the experiment, while doing the dihybrid cross in the Drosophila melanogaster, instead of getting 9:3:1 genotypic ratio in F2 generation, he got 8:8 ratio. See, according to Mendel dihybrid cross, the genotypic ratio may be in the F2 generation 9:3:1, isn't it? But the Morgan got 8:8 ratio when he did the dihybrid cross by taking Drosophila melanogaster. Okay. See, examined. So why it came like that? And then he got answer for that. That is, some of the genes that locating on the same homologous chromosome, they do not undergo independent assortment. The third law of Mendel's, the independent assortment. Okay, first law is law of dominance, second is law of segregation, and third one is the law of independent assortment. Okay, but in this case, in Drosophila, so while doing the experiment, Morgan got 8:8 ratio in the F2 generation. See, he found the answer for that. What happens? Okay, why the 9:3:1 ratio has not came in F2 generation? Because some of the genes which are found on the homologous chromosome, on the same chromosome, they tightly linked with each other. They do not undergo independent assortment. They carry or they transfer as it is from parents to offspring. So that's why there is no variation taken place. So parental characters exhibited in high percentage. So that's why Morgan got 8:8 ratio in F2 generation. Okay, see, some of the genes which are very tightly linked with each other, they lie together on the same chromosome. So that phenomenon is called as linkage. Okay, see, linkage is the phenomenon where some of the genes or certain genes, they are tightly lie together, they tightly link together. There is no crossing over takes place during that gamete formation, and they do not going to separate, they do not going to segregate. Okay, so why they are not going to segregate means they are tightly linked with each other. Okay, there is no crossing over occurs. So because of that reason, those genes they can transfer from parents to the offspring as it is without undergoing any change. So such phenomenon is called as linkage. The students, let us study about the concept that is linkage and recombination. Linkage and recombination. Linkage and recombination. What is linkage? So linkage is a phenomenon where assortment and they carry as it is to the offspring without undergoing any change. So that type of inheritance is called as linkage, and those genes are called as linked genes. Okay, so let us take one example. So this is one of the chromosome, homologous chromosome. See, the placement of genes on the chromosome or site of gene on the chromosome is called as loci. Okay, or it is singular locus. Okay, so it is the site of gene on the chromosome. See here, one of the gene is there. Let me give a name for this, that is A gene. Okay, so this is gene A, and another gene found on the same chromosome, and its name is, that is B. Okay, so this is A gene and this is B gene. They are found on the same chromosome, but they are far away with each other. Okay, they are not tightly linked together. They are not lie together. Okay, they do not lie nearest to each other. They lie far away from each other. Okay, in this situation, what happens? So during gamete formation, the crossing over takes place like this. Crossing over takes place. You might have studied in your previous year, that is cell division class, where meiosis takes place. In that situation, at meiosis first and prophase first, it contains, that means it is going to finish within 5 different steps: leptotin, zygotin, packeting, diplotin and diakinesis. Okay, in packeting stage, crossing over of these chromosomes takes place. During crossing over, what happens? The exchange of genetic material takes place. During crossing over, exchange of genetic material takes place. That leads to recombination. When crossing over occurs, exchange of genetic material takes place from one chromosome to another chromosome. That means independent assortment takes place. That leads to the recombination. That means variation. That leads to variation. See here, the genes which are located on the same chromosome, they are far away with each other. When crossing over occurs during packeting stage, this gene and this gene, they are going to separate. Okay, they are going to separate here. Okay. See, next in another case. Okay, so this is one of the homologous chromosome. If the genes are lie here, so this is A gene and this is B gene. Okay, if the genes are located like this, if crossing over takes place here, there is no recombination. Okay, so the genes are not going to separate. Okay, in this situation, when the crossing over takes place here, if the crossing over occurs here, so these genes are going to separate. So these lie slightly close to each other. Okay, in this case, crossing over may take place and the genes are going to separate. Okay, here in another example, if genes are located like this, they are very close with each other, A and B genes, they are very close with each other on the same chromosome. See here, there is no place for crossing over. Okay, see, if crossing over does not occur, these genes are not going to separate with each other because they are very closely linked with each other. Okay, so because they are very closely linked with each other, there is no crossing over occurs. Because of that reason, these genes are transferred from parents to offspring as it is without undergoing any change. So these genes are called as linked genes, and these are called as linked genes. Okay, because of this reason, in some organisms, the parental characters transfer as it is to the offspring, and some genes are showing the variations. In some characteristic features, they show variations. Variations occurs because of crossing over. Okay, when genes are located far away from each other, crossing over takes place, independent assortment occurs, and recombination takes place, and variations we can see in the characteristic features. If genes are located very close with each other, there is no crossing over, there is no recombination, and there is no 8 instead of 9:2, 3:2, 3:1 because certain genes on the chromosomes, homologous chromosomes, they lie very tightly with each other and they transfer as it is from parents to offspring without undergoing any change. So for that reason, we cannot see the variations in the offspring. If variation we can see when the recombination occurs. Okay, see here, distance ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಷ್ಟು ಕೂಡ genes distance ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಷ್ಟು ಕೂಡ crossing over ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so recombination takes place. Okay, and what happens if linkage is more, that means when these two genes are very tightly linked, okay, when linkage is more, recombination is less, isn't it? Linkage ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ recombination ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it does not take place. So understand in a proper way. See, linkage and recombination, they are inversely proportional with each other, not directly, inversely proportional with each other. If linkage is more, recombination is less. Okay, if linkage is less, that means the genes are far away with each other, then recombination is more. Recombination is more. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, so linkage is more, recombination is less. When recombination is more, linkage is less. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ನಮಗೆ ಹೊಸ ಹೊಸ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so that is because the recombination is more in that case. ಯಾಕೆ recombination ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so that is linkage is less. Okay, genes are located very distantly on the homologous chromosome. Okay, based on this, linkage can be classified into two types. Linkage can be classified into two types: complete linkage and incomplete linkage. In complete linkage, what happens? The genes, they are not going to separate. Okay, there is no place for the separation of these genes. Here, the genes are very tightly linked. Okay, so there is no place for separation. They do not get separated. Okay, they do not get separation. Okay, in this case, complete linkage. But in incomplete linkage, the genes are going to segregate or separate. They can independently assort, and that is responsible for the formation of variations in the offspring. Okay. Next we shall move on to the linkage. So that means the genes, certain genes, they are very closely linked with each other on the chromosomes. So let me give some examples for linked genes. So in your NCERT book only they have given. So Morgan has taken certain linked genes for his experiment and certain distant genes to show the percentage of recombination, okay, and linkage. See, the gray body and a normal wing. Gray body and normal wing in Drosophila. Gray body and normal wing in Drosophila, and black body vestigial wing. Black body vestigial in Drosophila. So these two characters are, these two genes which are responsible for these characters, they are very tightly linked with each other. So let me give another example. Yellow body and white eye in Drosophila only. Yellow body and white eye, and brown body, red eye. Brown body, red eye. Okay, so these are male and these are females. Okay, in Drosophila. these genes are tightly linked. When the Drosophila have the gray body, so that definitely they have the normal wings. Okay, because these genes are very closely linked with each other. So that's why they can transfer. Okay, they can inherit as it is from parents to offspring. So these genes are linked genes, you can say. Okay, so another example let me give you, that is rice color. Rice color and productivity. Rice color and productivity. See, let me give one example for this. If rice color is red, the productivity will be more. Okay, if rice color is red, the productivity is that yield is become more. So these two are linked genes. Okay, and another example for this, cotton. So let me take the plant cotton. Here, the color of the flower. Color of the flower. The closely linked way, the lint index. Lint index. Lint index means quality of fiber. Lint index means quality of fiber. Quality of fiber. So farmers ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, see cotton plant ನ ಅವರು grow ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, see based on the color of the flower, they can expect the yield, quality of the yield of that fiber. Okay, by seeing the color of the flower only, they are going to identify, they are going to expect the quality of the fiber. That means lint index. And by seeing the rice color only, they are going to expect the productivity or yield. Okay, see in this case, so in this way, the farmers are going to use these characteristic features to assume their productivity or their quality or their yield. So that's why this linkage has the significance, that is, it is going to be used in. Okay, see this, in these examples we are going to know that this linkage is going to be used to assume certain characteristic features. Okay, see on basis of this, the Morgan studied this yellow body and white eye and brown body and red eye. So that is given in your NCERT book. Okay, see what is the significance of this linkage means. See, it is going to use for, or it is going to be used as markers. Markers. So these linked genes are used as markers. So that is the significance of linkage. See here, if rice color is red, the productivity is going to be high. Okay, if the color of the cotton is in a particular color, so by seeing that color only, the farmers are going to assume the quality or the productivity of the lint index or the fiber. So in this way, the farmers are going to be used. So these colors of the flower of cotton and the rice color, they are going to be assumed their yield or productivity. So that's why this linkage has its own significance, that is going to be used as markers. Okay, so that is the significance. Okay, and let me take the example of Morgan dihybrid cross. Okay, to understand the linkage and recombination. T.H. Morgan. He took Drosophila melanogaster for his experimental study, isn't it? He did two experiments, experiment A and experiment B. He did two experiments to understand the linkage and recombination. See, in the experiment A, he took yellow body and white wing, white eye. Okay, yellow body and white eye female, and brown body, red eye male. He took for his experiment. In experiment A, he took yellow body and white eye female, and brown body, red-eyed male. In experiment 2, he took white-eyed miniature winged female, okay, and the red-eyed normal wing male. Okay, he took two characteristic features. Okay, next, in this situation, in the experiment A, so when he crossed these two characters, in F1, all the organisms are parental type. All are parental type only. All are parental type. All are parental type only. See, when we cross the yellow body and white eye, okay, all the offsprings which are formed in F1 generation, they are all like parental type only. Here also, when we cross white-eyed and miniature winged female with red-eyed normal winged male, in F1 generation, all are parental type only. Here also, all are parental type only. But in F2 generation, okay, 98.7% organisms, offsprings are parental type only. Only 1.3% offsprings showed recombination. That means recombinants. Only 1.3% recombination occurs and recombinants are formed here. Okay. In this experiment, in F2 generation, 62.8% are the parental type, and 37.2 are recombinants. Okay, see here. See the difference between in these two experiments. The result what he got, Morgan got. See, when he crossed these two characters by taking Drosophila, in F1 generation all are parental type, but in F2 generation 98.7 are offsprings that resemble their parents only. Okay, but 1.3% they showed the recombination. See why these results came by doing the experiment to the Morgan, because these two genes are yellow body and white eye, brown body and red eye. These two genes, they are very close, okay, very near with each other. They are tightly linked with each other. So that's why they do not show any crossing over. Okay, there is no crossing over takes place. Okay, and these genes, as it is transferred from parents to offspring. So that's why 98.7% offsprings are all parental type. Okay, because they are tightly linked genes, and only 1.3% recombinants they came. Okay, and here see the difference between this experiment and this. Here these two, they are not tightly linked genes. Okay, the genes which are responsible for these characteristic feature, they are not tightly linked with each other. They are not very close with each other. So that's why they show 62.8% parental type, and here see the percentage of recombinants. See, it is slightly higher than this experiment, isn't it? See, 37.2 are the recombinants. Here these genes are located slightly far away each other. So that's why they show high percentage of recombination. Okay, the diagrammatic representation has given in your NCERT textbook. Okay, so go and refer that after seeing this video. Okay, so this is the experiment done by the Morgan to understand linkage and recombination. If linkage occurs, if linkage is more, recombination is less. If linkage is less, recombination becomes more, and more new characteristic features we are going to see in the offspring. Otherwise, same parental characters will come. Okay, so this is the experiment showed by Mendel to understand the linkage and recombination. Okay, next we should study the linkage group. Linkage group. What is linkage group? A set of genes, they are located on the same homologous chromosome very tightly. They are called as linkage group. A group or set of genes found on the homologous chromosome very tightly, very near with each other. So that is called as linkage group. Linkage group that represented by the haploid set of that particular chromosome. Okay, so what is the linkage group of human beings means? That is 23 we can say. 23 because 46 are the chromosomes, that 2n in number, and 23 is the haploid. Isn't it? See, the linkage group of human being is the 23. The linkage group of Drosophila, that is 4 pair. That is 4 pairs. Okay, see, the linkage group, it is connected with the haploid setup. That means linkage group resembles the haploid set of chromosomes of particular organism. Next, what is gene mapping? Gene mapping. So this is another concept comes under this particular concept, that's linkage and recombination. See, gene mapping means it is the graphical representation of sequential arrangement of genes on the chromosome. Graphical representation of sequential arrangement of genes on the homologous chromosome. That is called as gene mapping. Okay, gene mapping is done based on the percentage of recombination. By seeing the percentage of recombination, if percentage of recombination is high, the genes are located far away from each other. Okay, so that's why the recombinants are produced more in number. If recombination percentage is very less, so crossing over is very less, there is no formation of recombinants, and that means the genes are closely linked with each other. So gene mapping is based on the percentage of crossing over and the recombination. Okay, and the significance of gene mapping is it is going to be used as a first step or initial step during the sequencing of human genome in Human Genome Project. So that is the significance of gene mapping. It is used as an initial step in sequencing human genome, the whole human genome. Okay, in Human Genome Project. So students, see, this is about the linkage and recombination. Okay, so in the next class I will take the sex determination.